Greetings, Guardians! How be your energy so far this day? Once again, it is Castle Grayskull 0420 bringing you a stop everything you're doing. If you're not playing one of the two free to play phenomenal games, free to play to earn phenomenal games bestowed upon us by Roboto Games, who, as a quick reminder, I am not affiliated, nor do I work for in any shape, form, or fashion, but I will continue to accomplish my mission from God to get as many eyeballs onto their direct sequel, Mites and Monsters, and inform them about the original OG Last Mage Standing, a.k.a. Arx Arcana, formerly known as Fortit.io. Guardians, don't take my word for it. It sounds a lot better coming out of LeVar Burton's mouth. You can say it at the end of every single Reading Rainbow. You need to check these games out. They've been bestowed and put on this planet by Roboto Games for you and me. Take advantage, man. Take advantage. Pleiade Battle Maids, ladies, as always, that voodoo that you do for me keeps me enthralled. But Season 4 of Overlord, Chapter 6, Chef Kiss Mwah. You know I am going to watch it and rewatch it. And Guardians, I'm not going to jump on the nerd summer anime soapbox. But just real quickly, dropkick on my devil, Jason Chan X in his 3rd season. Regular hilarity. Classroom of the Elite. After a long hiatus, Season 2. They're about to start the Sports Festival arc. Oh my gosh, yes. A brand new anime that I cannot wait for the next episode, Lacrosse Recoil. Let me not digress too much. Pleiade Battle Mates, I have nothing but love for all 7 of you. Wink, wink, for those true Overlord fans out there like me. We're going to get ready to get into the action here and take a look at the original OG. Last Mage Standing, a.k.a. Arx Arcana. I don't mean to shoo you away, but I am going to take it from here. Battle Maids. Pleiade Battle Maids. I love them every single day. Nothing but love. And, you know, Yuri Alpha, straight wife material, hands down, no debate to be had. Yuri Alpha, even though she's the head Pleiade maid, that has nothing at all to do with it. But like I said, I'm not going to get on my nerds summer anime. We're here to take a look at this game here. And in the stream and on the team up, we have Bazinator. Bazinator, a first-time stream viewer, came into the stream hanging out with Castle Grayskull 0420, which I am very appreciative of. You too can do the same thing. Join in on the shenanigans. You can ask me questions if it's super prevalent that I can make a snippet of, like I'm doing here with Bazinator's question. I will do it. Or you can reach out to me on my Discord. Leave a like and a comment first and foremost for these phenomenal games. So Bazinator came into the stream and they presented the ultimate inquiry that I'm able now to get 2 stones with 1 bird with. Because in the Discord and referenced in one of my educational videos in the comment section, I've had several people ask me what is going on with the nicknames for the abilities that I use in the game. Bazinator wanted to know when they came in the stream first time, and they're a veteran player. Bazinator said that they've been playing this game before there was even a Mage Pass ever implemented. So definitely it had to have been around Fortit.io or ArxArcana.io. But Bazinator came into the stream and asked, yo, what's your favorite ability? What's your fave ability? So I'm going to answer Bazinator's inquiry, but at the same time, I am going to take advantage and go through all of the nicknames for the abilities that I use. And if you don't get the reference, I may have to share it with you in another educational video. I don't know, or I might leave it in the description. But anyway, let's get ready to start right here, Guardians. Let's start. So first and foremost, we are going to start with the Air Elemental. The Air Elemental, I do not call that. I call it the Linka. The Air Elemental nickname is Linka. All right, let's keep on the trend to see if you can fully catch on to the references. So the Earth Elemental, I do not call the Earth Elemental. The Earth Elemental, I call Kwame. I call the Kwame. So now let's go and take a look. The Water Elemental. The Water Elemental, I do not call it. Its nickname is Gi. So now let's go on and take a look at the Fire Elemental. The Fire Elemental I call Wheeler. And then, just because it's funny and it ties in, the Wraith. I call the Wraith Mai Tai because the Wraith sucks your life force dry. If you do not get the reference, alright, since the Wraith steals your life force, since it steals your life, what organ do you need to maintain your life or that beats your life? Heart, Mai Tai, heart. Fire, Wheeler. Water, Gi. Earth, Kwame. Air, Linka. When their powers combine. Where's Don Cheetah when I need him? Man, Don Cheetah as Captain Planet was hilarious. If you have not seen that skit, you need to YouTube it. Alright, so that is the elementals. The elemental nicknames are all of the planeteers that form Captain Planet. I do not call them by their name. So let's continue on. Let's continue on. And what we'll do is, instead of just running around, I'll just go... No, I think I'll keep it... So let's take a look at our critters. Our creatures and our critters. Alright, so first up, I do not call this the rat nest. I call it the ratatouille. Next up, I do not call this the barracks. I will either call it cannon fodder or meat shield. They're essentially the same thing. I kind of like throwing out cannon fodder sometimes. Alright, and the last one. And you're going to see how much of a nerd and the things that I'm into, and I've already referenced some anime. I do not call this the spider's web. Now, someone would have been like, well, why not call it Charlotte? Like Charlotte's web? No, that's too... I call this Kumiko. Especially when I activate it, I like to see if I can get a wakabi to come out of it. So, the spider web, I call a Kumiko, and I look forward to having a wakabi come out. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, so in our towers, I do not call this the pop tower. I call it the snap crackle. If you do not get that reference, obviously you do not eat enough cereal. Alright, next one. This one is super confusing to certain individuals, and I'm going to make sure that it's spelt correctly and you get the reference, okay? Because you can go to YouTube and research this and have fun with it. I do not call this the healing totem. This is known as the super polymorphic unleashing gel. If you take that acronym, it spells SPOOG, S-P-U-G. Super Polymorphic Unleashing Gel. This is known as the Spooge. If you don't get that reference, you need to watch some Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That's all I gotta say. The Bardock movie one where he goes back in time. That I'll point you in that direction, okay? That's where the Spooge comes from. Super Polymorphic Unleashing Gel. Alright. Next on the list, next on our towers, I should probably use, there we go, this will be a lot quicker. I call this the of Katniss Everdeen. I know that's a mouthful, but it's hilarious. Instead of calling it a catapult, I call it the pult of Katniss Everdeen. All right, next. I do not call this the ballista. I call it the Goblin Slaying Arrow Attack. Goblin Slaying Arrow Attack. That is from Goblin Slayer Abridged. If you need to know the reference or point of source. The Rage Totem. I call the Lord of the Flies. If you don't get that reference, you need to open up a book or go to the library and read. The Lord of the Flies is a great read, and you know it's probably a recommended read, especially you know in English classes and certain things like that. Maybe like English 2 or 3 or probably 4, but definitely. Anyway, this is known as the Lord of the Flies. Oh, piggy and the conch. All right, let's keep going. This is so much fun. This is so much fun. I finally get to do the nickname. All right, so next tower. Where are you at? Boom. It was right there. I call the decoy the red herring. This is known as the red herring. All right, so now let's go take a look at our ranged and spell attacks. Let's take a look at our ranged and spell attacks. So we'll start right down here. Oh my gosh. Did I miss this? I think I did. So we'll start with the one we have highlighted. You've heard me utilize this because I'm working on this quest. This is known as the Legolas. The triple arrow I call the Legolas. The throwable bomb I call the Call of Duty. If you don't get that reference, you need to play Call of Duty 2. That came out on Xbox. Because in the Russian campaign, when you're doing the training, they give you potatoes. And then one of the guys asked, "Comrade, why are we using potatoes?" And he says, you know, a real grenade costs more than your life. You practice with potatoes. You use real grenade in war situation. And then also as a tactic or strategy. You know, especially with history in Stalingrad and stuff like that, they were fighting room by room. They wanted to be able to grab their enemy by the belt buckle. They were using tactics. They would use grenades to clear out a room. It's like you don't go into a room first. You throw a grenade in, let that clear it out, and then you go clean up. So the throwable bomb lets you throw it into structures and houses. So that's why I call it the Call of Duty. Hilarious. Let's keep going. Let us keep going. All right, here we go. I call this just the Goblin Slayer Abridged. I call the Poison Dagger Goblin Slayer Abridged. If you don't get the reference, you need to watch it. You'll pick it up in the very first episode. It gets reiterated again in the 4th episode when they go meet the sword priestess in the water town. And he's like, what did it? A knife? A dagger? Teeth? A dagger made out of teeth? Because a goblin would use that. So I call the Poison Dagger the Goblin Slayer Abridged. And then the last ranged shot or spell attack we have... Oh, no, wait, it's not the last one. Second to last. I call the silent shot the Hold Your Tongue. So the silent shot is called the Hold Your Tongue. And then the last ranged spell attack, I call the Chain Lightning the Force Lightning. This is the Force Lightning. All right. 2 more sections of type of abilities, and we'll get into it. So let's take a look at some traps here. This is going to be real quick and straightforward. The Fire Rune. The Fire Rune is known as the Admiral Akbar. And if you don't get that reference, watch some Star Wars, or just Google Admiral Akbar. Next, the Exploding Barrel, I call the Donkey Kong Classic. So now we are finally to the buffs. Okay, so first buff, let's see. I call the Shockwave, this spell Shockwave, the Force Push. This is the Force Push. The Berserk is known as the Ultra Ego Vegeta. Ultra Ego Vegeta. Now, I definitely made an educational video once I got this unlocked. I had the shirt with an avid Dragon Ball fan. I hope they got a few chuckles out of that. I didn't reference them in the video. All right, let's see. We only got a few more. The magic armor I call the Prism of Harding. The Prism of Harding. The phase shift. The phase shift I call the Mastered Ultra Instinct. Mastered Ultra Instinct. And let's see. We're down to the last two. Alright, so this is going to be a cool one. The Swirling Storms I call Aurora Monroe. Aurora Monroe. If you do not get that reference, you need to check out Charles Xavier's Gifted School of the. That's all the hint I'm gonna give you on the Aurora Monroe. That's what I call the Swirling Storms. I mean the giveaways in it. If you don't get that, if you can't piece it together. All right, and then last and finally, and this is gonna answer Bazinator's question. What is my favorite ability thus far? Thus far. I call the disguise the Tanuki suit. If you do not get that reference, you need to play some Super Mario Bros. 3. That's all I gotta say about that. So the Tanuki suit is actually my favorite ability, Bazinator, and I just fell in love with it once I found out and saw how it worked. Of course, once I first started playing the game, remember, this is day 40 of me playing this game. Day 40, okay? When I first started playing this game and I would see it on the battlefield, I didn't know, just like other abilities here, I really didn't know what it was about, how to utilize it, but since I've been immersing and experimenting and learning and getting veteran players to share their insight, I found certain abilities that I definitely enjoy, that I can find great synergy combos with certain guardians. Like when I utilize the Force Lightning or either the Force Push, and someone may ask, like, why do you call it the Force Lightning? Well, look at the character on there. Doesn't that look kind of like their metachlorian count is high? Their garb looks like, honestly, it's cloakish. Okay, that looks as if they're, especially here. That definitely looks like this individual has a high metachlorian count. So I like utilizing the Force, either the Force abilities with a Guardian that looks like they are high in the Force. So I'll use it with Pyro. I mean, just look at his cloak action. As if the Force is strong with that one. Let me not get too nerdy. I don't want to stretch out this educational video longer than it has to be. I definitely wanted to make sure I took care of 2 stones with 1 bird, explaining and breaking down the nicknames to the abilities that I use, because I've had individuals ask on Discord and even reach out, why are you in gameplay? Why are you saying the Achilles, or let me get the Call of Duty, or hey, run into the spooge? Now you know, Guardians, I want to give a shout out, not just to Bazinator for asking the question, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Alexis Fire and also, Minty Green. I think Minty Green was the first on-board participator. So I apologize, Alexis Fire. I misspoken and misquoted you there. It was Minty Green that I believe may have jumped on board first and became a full participator of utilizing the nicknames in the gameplay. You don't have to. It's just part of Castle Grayskull 0420's shenanigans, a way to add an extra layer of fun, to sort of have some inside jokes to flex, my nerd, my nerd hobbies. The things that I like to immerse myself in. I want for you to check these games out for yourself. You can send me a friend request. I'll accept it. My player tag is none0420. LeVar Burton could not have said it better himself at the end of every single Reading Rainbow. Don't just take my word for it. I hope to see you checking out this game, see if they're truly free to play, see if it truly is that acronym-based word fun, all caps with the dots in between, because Roboto Games knows what we mean. As a quick reminder, I'm not affiliated, nor do I work for Roboto Games in any shape, form, or fashion. Pleiade Battle Maids, ladies, get out here, please, and do that magical voodoo that you do for me the best. Check out the games, Guardians. Check out the official Discord. Roboto Games official Discord. You can reach out to the developers, check out top-ranked players. Remember, the #1 spot is open. Shuri, they've quit. We're going to see if we can get them into Might and Monsters, just like Bazinator 25, a veteran player, been on hiatus, came back for some more fun. They had no idea a direct sequel exists. I'm about to explode their cerebral cortex and shatter their reality, Guardians. I hope that you check these games out. Leave a like and comment first and foremost for the games. Remember, it's not about me, Guardians. That's why you'll never see my handsome, gorgeous moneymaker. Join in on the live stream, Castle Grayskull 0420. I hope to see you on the battlefield. Because believe me, Guardians, if I do, I will smite you. Until then, Guardians, you be easy. Pleiade Battle Maids, you ladies have the floor.